Hello guys, Susanna here. Well, we're up to the next technique, which is in the March, and it is English paper piecing. So once again, I've got kits that are in the blue and kits that are in the pink. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown with, I think I've done some bits and pieces on my channel. This is English paper piecing, which I've put on some stuff and then stuck it on there and made myself a cushion, so you can make yourself all bits and pieces. This is a book that I got from my local quilt shop. You want to have a look. English paper piecing, Sharon Burgess. I think it's got Tilda fabric in there and Liberty. Paper piecing tends to lend itself out to Liberty fabric because they're very small, and plus, you know, Liberty is English and it's English paper piecing. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a flip through, quick flip through on this index page of some of the things that you can make. You know, that they've made bags and towels and even a little pin cushion, placemats, a stitch in time, looks like they've done a journal there. I think that's what I've got shown here. Embroidery, springtime embroidery organizer. Love the stuff in this book. I think I've shown this in my channel before, a bit earlier on. So there's somewhere you can put your hoop and threads and bits and pieces. I really love how that looks. Okay, now what I've got, there's the vintage pouch, which is right up my alley because you're using the vintage doilies. But English paper piecing. Now where is it? Here it is. The bit that we are doing today, and here's the original. These are the block sizes that you get, but everything, if you get the kit, everything's already cut out. If you don't get the kit and you just get the PDF, this is what you get, and then I'll show you what you need to do. So hopefully it's not shining too much. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, this is the block that we will be making. This oh, it's sort of similar to that. It's this, but it's with diamonds. So yeah, similar. It's like a star, but it's got diamonds and stuff in it. So okay, so what I've done is, so there's the kits that you get for the pink ones, and then here is, I better pull them over, and then on the bottom of it so you can see it. And this one has got, see, it lends itself to Liberty fabric, so I've gotten some Liberty fabric in both the pinks, and it's got a doily in the middle, like a vintage doily, which I used, and I had enough for the pink one, like with a lot of these type of stuff in there. And then mine, I had to once again hodgepodge together because I want you guys to have the best. I'm using this one, and this is the colours in the blue. It's really quite nice. So, but you'll see them in there on the website and in the thumbnail finished. So okay, so what we're going to do, I'm umming and ahhing whether I'm going to put it on this, we'll see, or just that. So what I have got is, you get these, not the templates, here's mine. Okay, and everybody gets these bits and pieces in their kit, and this is iron-on Vilene, right? Because normally, and these are all being pre-cut out, so if you get the kit, you're pretty lucky. This is the sort of last piece, and I had to, you know, really get it to sit down. So and it's got iron-on Vilene, which is thicker, like a thick one. So what you're going to do is you get all your pieces, and see how one end's got a bit of a shine to it. Hopefully you can see that. Might bring it in just a tad. There we go. So I'll get my iron, which is up here. Handy having this little line. Now be careful with that one. Now the reason why this is quite good is because, actually I may not have to have the iron unless you want to pre-iron the fabric. So once again here with this fabric, and it's all being pre-cut out, me and my friend sort of stitched it and cut it all out. Not stitched it, cut it all out. So okay, I better not bring the iron in at this point. I might turn it off, sorry guys. So okay, now what you will need is some polyester cotton. Polyester, no, not polyester cotton, polyester thread, just polyester. And you can get the Gutermann polyester thread because it is stronger. So what you do with this is you get out your Sewline glue stick. You can get these at your local quilt shop, or you can get them online, and these are glue stick refills. So this is perfect for this technique. So what you do, once again, this fabric has got a right and a wrong side. So we want that shiny fabric, okay, to be on the front, because when we go to put it down and we can iron it down, it'll partially glue. I mean, there is a product that has already got these things cut out, but I'll just if you get that iron-on Vilene with the sticky stuff on the back, when we go to put it down, it'll be all stitched on, but when we go to put it down, it'll stick down. I won't have to pin it. So we just hold that down like that, and this is the beauty of this. Now with these, you will have these little points on the sides, but that's okay as long as they're all facing the same way. Okay, this is how we do that one. Okay, now this saves, this is the modern way of doing English paper piecing, so that's fine. These are going to be getting tucked under, so we'll grab another one, make sure it's the right way. So you got the kids done for you. Make sure that the shiny bit is facing outwards, so go down like that. Like this. So when you get your pattern, this is the outside is what you cut the fabric, the inside is what you cut the paper size, or you know, like you can still do this, and you do the same technique even when you put paper on the inside, because this isn't permanent hold. You sew it all on and then you pull the paper out, whereas when you use iron-on Vilene, this stuff, it's a bit thicker, you actually keep it in. And I did the same with this. There, it's, I can't remember what it's called, hang on a minute, I think I've got some here somewhere. There we go, Ashmead Designs Hexiform, and they're the ones, and they're a little bit thicker. And once again, they haven't got that on there, but the Ashmead Designs, and they come in pre-done stuff, and you actually leave it in, which gives it a bit of a nice texture and puffs it up a bit, whereas this is a lot cheaper to do it that way. Okay, we've done a couple of those, so we'll do one of these. Okay. Okay. Yep. Bit too much. Make sure you stick to the edge. Put that over there. And yeah, you don't need that much. I always tend to have a little bit more than what I need. See, you need to do it so it goes, because as you saw, it went a bit funny because I didn't do it properly. Okay, this is going to have 3 points, but you need to make sure that it's done properly. Hopefully, actually, yep. Okay, there we go. Let's look. Okay, I'll do one in the pink. So it's got, I think this doesn't seem to be how I want it to go. That way, and that going in that way. There we go. That's it. See, they need to have little points sticking out. You need a definite edge. Okay, I'll try again with this one. Okay. Do that. Oh. Let's do beautiful fabric this. I really like it. On there, on the edge. Which is the Liberty fabric. On the edge. You're best just doing that. That's all you really need. I always go overboard. Oop. Probably needs a little more on that one. There we go. Now we will deal with those little edgy bits, and then with the big one, same technique. Put that in, do that fold, and but I've pre-done it because I actually had to sew that on. So yeah, so it's a little bit different to what you have got. So I will pause and yeah, see, you haven't got that, so that you would just do the same with that big piece there, fold it over each edge and just go around. That doesn't end up with little pointy bits, that ends up like that. So I'll pause and I'll be back when they're all glued down. Okay, I'm back again, and I've just arranged them to suit how I want to sew them. So I might get my thimble, because sometimes you may need it. I'll see how I go without it to begin with. Okay, get yourself a fairly fine needle, because you're using the polyester thread, so it's not polycotton, polyester by Gutermann. You just get it in the sewing aisle at your local, sewing centre. Okay, so I'll just do a knot, and then we're going to be starting sewing this on. So we go down like this and we grab that. Okay, where are we? Now these little pieces, actually I might, that's going to be on the top, so I need to make sure that it's, so we go in there with that little end piece there and you actually grab hold of there we go. So we sew like that and then it's going to be flipped over, so that's fine. Okay, now if you want to, where are my little clamps? You can pin them down, but because they're such small little pieces, I tend to just hold on to it. I'm going to zoom it in because it's quite fine work. So you go here, you grab the end, this is the first stitch, and that holds that. So because you want it to, now normally when I've done this in the past, you don't have these little tail bits, but they get tucked underneath, so it's all good. So you just do this tiny little slip stitch and make sure that you grab it once we get past the little tail. I just didn't want to do a plain one because I've done plenty of, I've showed how to do this one. It doesn't have the tail bits, but this was just that little bit better, and you're probably tempted to cut them off, but don't. Okay, so grab that and go across and pinch the top. Tiny little stitches that are going to sew them together. This bit that is on the top happens to be a little thicker than that, because it's Liberty fabric. It's a little bit thinner. Okay, there we go, we're getting there. Now, I grab, and you just grabbed a little bit, little bite-sized pieces. I mean, I love this technique and everything for small projects, but when people, you know, have gone into this and done massive big projects, it's something that you can put down and you know, you pick up, and it's a long-term project, to put it that way. So you can see why you need the polyester thread, because you've got to pull it and you don't want it to break. Now, and funnily enough, I've got that book that I showed you, Liberty and Tilda fabric. This is actually a Tilda, and then this is the vintage, and same with that beautiful vintage doily. Okay, so when you get to the end, do that little stitch that we did before. It's just come out of my needle, it's alright. back in, because it's such a teeny little hole. Preferably you don't want to do that now. That's going to get flipped over, and you see, you don't even see that stitch. So now what we want is, which way are we going? We're there. Okay, so just finger press that down, so that's going that way. Now what we do is we go this way, and that's right in the join there and the join there. So we come up, grab that, do this, and see, as you can see in this part, it works out that you like it's right there and you're starting the next part. But for the next part, I will show you this. You grab a long thread so you don't have to rethread again, but then this is what happens when you get a long thread. Oh, good grief. Okay, let's do, okay, just tiny little bites. Make sure you're grabbing this part, you'll feel it as well, and that's why you have a light colour thread, so you don't see it, because we're using, if we do using one colour, you could probably use the thread that is the same colour, but I thought I'd go for, you know, a sort of a light, sort of like really quite a light creamy colour. It's a fairly neutral, and it's got, you know, the cream for the centerpiece, so it's all going to work. Ideally I would bring this closer to me and this wouldn't be in the way, but I am showing you. So the next part I will show you how to, I'm going to move that out the way, just leave the little daggy bits on for now all the way up to the end, and then they're going to be annoying and they're in the way, but it's all good. Okay, so just hold it. You know those little clips that you can get? I'm holding it down, but make sure that you don't sew that little flap into it, if you know what I mean. There we go. Okay. You can get into a rhythm of it, and it can become quite relaxing and you know, quite nice. So once again, on the top we do this. Now this is going to open up, and that's sewed onto that. Right, so what we need to do is we go, I'm just going to grab tiniest little bit there and go down to here, so we don't have to rethread. Okay, now that's there like that. So what I'm going to do, that's going to tuck underneath there, and that'll, yeah, see, that'll have to tuck underneath there. So we're going to sew those bits together or we can sew this down here, which I may do. So you just keep going around and around, and even though you got these little bits, I may sew all that around first and then come back and do those other ones. But I wanted to show you. Okay, there we go. Grab the first one, and then tiny little bits, little grab bits. Once again, tail's in the way, but that's okay. If this is your first time doing English paper piecing, I would probably recommend just doing just hexagons, because they don't have these little edgy parts when you sew them down. So a lot easier to do. So if you want to do just that, you know, you could probably just do that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll probably leave it at that, because it does take a little bit to you know, sew this all down. So that's going to be sewn. Then what I'm going to do, because I'll end up there, I'll sew all the way around, and then I'll have these little flappy bits. Okay, and then I'll come out to there, and then what I'll do is I'll probably start a new thread, and I will sew that up there, and then come down, up, down, up, down. So it'll be a lot easier to sew. There you go. So sew on the little rectangles first. I only just did it like that to show you how you sew these pieces together. Okay, now it can be quite addictive once you get into the swing of it. Quite relaxing. Looks really nice, and you can't see it. Okay, well, that's that part, and we're up to 27 minutes, and so these will be all sewn down, and I might pause and then come back when these are ready to go on, and then that probably be the end of this video, and I'll do a little bit more on the next one. Okay guys, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again, and I've sewn all those bits. Now what we're going to do is, see, they're all sewn down. Now what you do is you get your pin, you go in there and in there. I'm just going to sew quickly, and I found these that can help to hold it down so that you can sew, and that makes it so that you don't lose your grip. Now I'll just sew this bit quickly down. Actually, I probably should do that. There we go, to make sure that it stays down. I'll just sit down. Okay. Now, make sure that you grab all the bits. I just want to show you this one little piece so you can see what I mean. these would have been handy for that first part. This part is a little bit easier. Because it's not sewing onto that was a bit thick. It's all the thin bits that you're sewing together, which makes it a little bit quicker. Now, when we get to here, I've got those two bits, the points. Okay, make sure that they fitting together. Oop, it's there. And there's the point there of that one. So what we do is we sort of do that knot thing. Now that's sewn onto there like that. Okay, now we want to sew that onto there like this, and that's already over. Okay, this part here will get tucked under when we do some sewing, when we sew it on. Okay, so there we go, we're right there. Go through all those bits. And you could probably use this if you wanted to, just to hold it down. And making sure that we get the two end bits. And then start sewing those across, making sure that you don't sew that little flap. That's going to get tucked under. Yep. Oh, there we go. I mean, this design is for a little bit more of the adventurous, like I said. There we go. I don't usually worry about that too much. And grab just tiny little slip stitches. That's awesome because you don't really see it. Yeah, this is not you know, this is a marathon. These doing this type of stitching, like this part's gone pretty fast, but you know, if you want to make a big design of any type with this, it's just something that you take with you when you go to craft group or whatever it is, and you know, slow and steady wins the race. But it's so rewarding because you know that they've been doing this for years, and you know, you use the prettiest little fabrics, which is very nice. So, right, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Okay, got to be careful, and probably doing this because I'm filming, guaranteed, and I haven't got it close to me. I've got it more forward. Okay, so basically I might finish it there because you'll get the drift of what I mean. See, and then that will stop there and it'll go up, down, up, down. Then I will come back when that's finished in the next part, and then I'll show you what you need to do with tucking these bits underneath. And because it's got that shiny, see how it's got these shiny little bits, not on all of it, we'll come back and we'll, you know, push these down. You could probably cut a small bit off, but that's how that is looking for this point. Okay, I'll come back in the next one once these are all attached and we can attach it to our piece. We've still got to do English paper piecing, you know, transfer that onto your bit, and then we stitch down. So there's a little bit more to do in this one than there was in the previous one. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next part. Loving doing this, such pretty fabrics. Bye.